Hello everyone, this is Nourish and Bloom with Maureen Wampo. We are excited to have you here again. Christmas is fast approaching and we thought we should do a series that will introduce some Christmas recipes that you can share with friends and loved ones. The theme for this Christmas season is in reminiscence of my childhood. I remember Christmas used to be a big deal. We'll have a huge brunch and then an early dinner. And that's what we are about to show you now, because we want to start with smoothies first. Because usually, whenever we come back from church, you usually want to tone down that first pang of hunger before you go into prepping. So smoothies are your go-to. And the first thing we will do, because we are having a watermelon pineapple smoothie. We have our watermelon here, we have our pineapple, we have jaggery. Jaggery is just a less refined form of sugar. You can use honey in place of this if you don't have jaggery. We have flaxseed. What we're doing here is to tone down the sugar spike, and this also adds a nutty flavor to your smoothie, so it actually helps with flavor. And don't worry, the kids won't even notice this. We have beetroot. This is optional. It helps with the color. If you can't find beetroot, that's fine. You can still make this smoothie without beetroot. We have some apples, and then we have lemon juice. So we'll be adding our ingredients into the blender. So the lemon juice goes in, and then our pineapples. So what I'm going to do is to try to squish this down with the plunger so as to give space for the other ingredients, and we can actually start blending to reduce this as well before adding on the other ingredients. So we just blended up our pineapple and lemon juice, and we'll be adding on the watermelon. At this point, I'm going to add on the flax seeds. Flax seeds are very good for you because it contains some very good healthy fats like the omega-3 fats. And like I said, it will also help stop the sugar spike and add on some fiber or more fiber into this nice smoothie. So the jaggery goes in. We'll be adding on the beetroot and the apples. We'll just reduce this, then I'll add on more of the watermelon. So I'm just going to blend. So we've been able to reduce the other ingredients. I'll be adding on the remaining watermelon. Then we're just going to blend away. Of the blending of the smoothie, you can see how beautiful the color looks. That's because of the beetroot in it. And we'll just be pouring into this jug. We'll be serving through this jug. So this is our first recipe for the Christmas season. We'll be moving on to the next. So on to our second recipe for the day. Remember, we are having a brunch, so what could be better than a homemade tea? Very nourishing. We have here some lemongrass, we have mint, grated ginger and lemon juice. We'll start by boiling the first three ingredients in a pot of water, and then we'll add this later by the time this boils and steeps for a couple of minutes. So I'm just going to be adding my lemongrass, and we'll be adding the mint. This here is very good for detox because during the festive season we tend to eat a lot, so it will be good to help your system alongside with things like teas like this that will help you detox naturally. We are adding on some ginger, some grated ginger. So I'll be placing this on heat, and I'll show you how we like to serve this. So we will just be getting rid of all this. Then we'll be sieving into a fresh pot. You can actually add on tea bags into this if you like while boiling. But I just decided to have strictly lemongrass and mint with this. Here we have some lemon. Just stir that in. And yeah, we have our lemongrass mint tea. You can serve this with honey. Absolutely beautiful when you're having this with snacks. And I'm just going to pour this into this lovely teapot. So this is ready to be served. We'll set this aside and then we'll come in with our other baked goods for our Christmas brunch. So right here we have our ingredients for the carrot muffins. That's our next recipe of the day for our Christmas brunch. We have some whole wheat flour, please whole wheat. You won't notice the difference. I'm telling you honestly, you won't notice the difference. The good thing about whole wheat is that it has the fiber content in it and it's not completely processed. So you have some good stuff in your whole wheat flour. We have some carrots, vegetable oil, vanilla extract, applesauce. To make this applesauce is very easy because I know that getting applesauce can be a bit difficult in some places. So what I did was I chopped 2 apples, added on some water just to the level of the apples, let that cook down, soften. I let the water dry out and then I mashed with a fork or with a potato masher. That's simple. But if this is too much of a big deal, don't let this stop you from having your carrot muffins. This can be completely omitted. Your carrot muffins will still taste nice, but not as moist. It just adds moisture to your carrot muffins. We have cinnamon, we have sunflower seeds, brown sugar. We are adding on a bit of brown sugar in this recipe. We have some eggs, salt, baking soda. We'll just start by adding on this into our dry ingredients or mixing our dry ingredients together. I'm adding on cinnamon onto my whole wheat flour. Then I'm going to add on some salt. I'm going to add baking soda to this as well. We are just going to mix this to combine. We are just going to start on with our wet ingredients and I'll be cracking on some eggs into this bowl. So we just cracked up our 6 eggs and I'm going to give this a whisk. The applesauce goes in. Our vegetable oil goes in. Vanilla extract. And then the sugar. So we'll give this a really good mix. At this point, we'll be adding on the grated carrot. And last but not the least, our dry ingredients will be going in. So we're going to mix this all in here. We'll be using the sunflower seeds as a topper. So that's the consistency you should be looking to get. A bit thick, which is what you're seeing right here. I'll be scooping this onto my muffin pans and then I'll show you what it looks like by the time I'm ready to pop it in the oven. So right here we have our muffin pans. I also like to grease a mini casserole pan because this helps you portion your sizes. If you don't want the muffins, you can actually slice into smaller slices from the casserole pan. So we'll just start by filling the muffin pans in first. So right here, we already filled in our muffin pan, the casserole pan. We'll just be adding on the toppings. That's the sunflower seeds. So there we go. I'll just be popping this in an oven. We'll be baking at 165 degrees Celsius. I'll come back and let you see what it looks like by the time it's cooked. So this is what our carrot muffins looks like by the time it's out. As you can see, it looks golden brown. And we have some of this in the casserole pan. I like this, like I said, because it's good for portion control. We'll set this aside, and once the zucchini bread is ready, we'll be showing you what that looks like as well. So the next recipe for our Christmas brunch is the zucchini bread. This is what zucchini looks like. It looks very similar to cucumbers, but it tends to be not as, in terms of water content, it doesn't have as much water content as cucumbers. So right here we have whole wheat flour. I always emphasize whole wheat flour. We have some walnuts, brown sugar, vegetable oil. We have cinnamon, salt, baking soda, grated zucchini. I just grated some zucchini and that's what we have here. We have some eggs and then our vanilla extract. Right here we have the whole wheat flour, and we'll be adding on a tablespoon of cinnamon. Please use Ceylon cinnamon. It's important to ask for Ceylon cinnamon if you can get Ceylon cinnamon, because it's the better option. And then we'll be adding on our baking soda. The salt goes in. So right onto this bowl, we'll be mixing our wet ingredients. In goes the eggs. We'll be adding on the eggs. The vanilla extract goes in. The oil goes in. The sugar goes in. We whisk to combine. We'll be adding on the zucchini. And to give this a good stir. The mixture of dry ingredients going. The walnuts. I love having walnuts in zucchini bread. You can actually have zucchini bread without your walnuts. And in case you can't find walnuts, you can add on almonds. I've not tried cashew nuts, but I think cashew nuts will be fine as well. So I'm just going to be adding on the walnuts. I'm going to stir this. So this is what it looks like by the time you transfer it into your bread pans. We'll be sending this into the oven right away. So we just got the zucchini bread out from the oven. This is what it looks like. We'll be making a full spread by the time everything is ready, so you can see how we serve this on a Christmas morning. Coming up next episode, a merry lineup of savory Christmas brunch recipes is on the way. Please stay tuned.